Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Stiff, and the purpose of this video today is to give you the backstory to All She Do. All She Do. Let me just say, it's written in a female's perspective, but it ain't a soul out there if you flip the lyrics to fit a man or whatever. It ain't a soul out there that can't relate to the thought of knowing somebody cheated on somebody that cheated on you. And they picked that person because they thought the grass was greener on the other side, and nothing could go wrong. That person could do no wrong. And a lot of times people don't realize, like, that sneaky link be fun as hell, right? Or if it ain't a sneaky link, then everybody know. Well, I don't say everybody know. I would just say, in general, there are people who know and understand the lyrics to tracks like Sade Joint, Never As Good As the First Time. Because let me tell you, that anticipation can win you over. Once that curiosity is fulfilled. You know? Okay? What they say, curiosity killed the cat, satisfaction brought her back. So when a person finally gets to have that experience with that person they want, you get some people be smitten. After that, they got them. All right, and once somebody get their hooks in, they got you. You know what I'm saying? Well, they are. I mean, the other person that got that person all caught up. You know what I mean? The person already messed up when they stepped out, but once they stepped out and succeeded on they wanted, it ain't nothing you can do. But sometimes people cash in on their one who really for them in exchange for somebody that they want. You know what I mean? And the end result was horrible. And it's not even that you intend to wish malhole on people. This is the law of karma. Like, hell, I heard the grass wasn't greener on the other side before I even got on the scene. And then I got to see what it meant. And as I always say in a lot of my videos related to this album, because I want to continue the school series, but in this case, on this album, it deals with a lot of it. It does a little bit with friendships, but a whole lot with relationships. And I'm here to tell you, you can't start that. You can't stop that karma. You can't stop that karma. And it ain't about wishing no bad on nobody. It ain't about shooting no malhole and no evil eye. It is natural when you going through the stages of grief over a breakup that you naturally may have a passing thought, a few or many, that you hope this person get they ass cheated on and tore up. Cause the person clearly didn't empathize with you or even consider how you might feel when they jumped ship or crossed you. So I don't see why that thought wouldn't pass by a time or two or more. But I can say personally that I've been fortunate a couple times to get a little close to figuring out that someone that had did that to me felt that misery. Because checking for me, and a true story, played me like some straight up soybean burgers, as my sister would say. And I mean straight up. I've been through a lot of stuff, but this was the first of its kind, and it was the only of its kind, and it was that and some other things that I've been through in terms of betrayal of trust and person stepping out on me, all that yitty yada yitty was behind these lyrics. But when that heartbreak hit, this song was heavily rooted in this individual because my damn hair fell out from like this, like a haircut. And I didn't know. And I braid hair. I do my own hair, all that stuff. And I was much younger. And I've seen people with bald spots in their head from stress. And I didn't know what it was. I had to go home and ask my mama what was wrong with that. And I'm here to tell you, when it happened to me, I vowed after I came out of that, never to go back in. And that was one of them. I took a little hiatus from relays. One thing I wasn't thinking about no relationships. I was having a good time, and then when I did jump back in, more stuff happened because I had to get school, and which is going to bring us to a point where everything going to come full circle when we get to the end. But got played, and was fortunate enough to still for a while be in contact with the individual, no longer intimate. But the person wanted me after I was no longer within reach, even before the person got married. The person still was trying me before they got married, and they married someone they didn't even have kids with. You know what I mean? And it started to make sense to me that people was getting married for materialism and stuff, like just to go up a level. Feelings ain't had nothing to do with it. It was opportunity at the time. And I didn't understand that. But once I did, I made a vow then too. I wasn't right after that hair fell. I wasn't let nobody get me to a point where my hair fell out. That was one, and then two, I made a vow that I didn't want to deal with shallow individuals. I didn't want to deal with people with ulterior motives. It's sick of me. Not saying I didn't encounter it after, but that, you know, that hit different. There was a lot of other things that hit different after, but in this case, that was one. I haven't written a song yet about some other things that I've been through, but definitely in the case of this, and it's deep because when you have sisters, when you have cousins, when you have friends or whomever people, and I've even connected with people who wasn't that close, you know. But when you to even call a friend, just it was just timing, And for those people who shared their stories, whether when I was going through it or when they themselves was going through it, like I at least was fortunate enough to see one person connect to this song when it first came out. And I was very much aware of some things that they experienced too, and we had different love languages. And I could say, this person is a female, had had a big heart. I can't wait to make. I can't wait to make this. Well, not make. I can't wait to record the song about that, but about having that big heart. being real big. And but seeing a person that song resonate with them, because when you living somewhere where a lot of people know somebody that knows somebody, that was number one when in the construction of these lyrics. Information has a way of finding you even if you don't get the closure. And I was fortunate enough many times to get closure from a few, and then many none. And but that information found me. And I've trusted that even outside of this topic. Like, I trust the process. I trust God to know that things will reveal, and anybody who was brought here to this video will know, if you have a relationship with God, then you know that all things can be revealed, you know, along with having that power of discernment too. So I don't have to chase news. I know news will find me, and it did. And guess what? I ran into an individual many times, and till to this day, asking me, "Oh, you still with that person? You still with that person?" Because eventually, I did find somebody that liked me. You know, I watched a video one time, soft white underbelly. Miss Pimp said, uh, get the one that like you, not the one that wants you." And I felt that. And it's funny, I had a sister used to say this. I had a sister say the same thing. You know, the one you want never wants you. So when I saw it again, I was like, damn, here this quote go again. And it was something like that. It's definitely, I felt it resonate to a degree. And there's people out there who would disagree with that. But for me, I felt like it's quite a bit tried and true. Because clearly I watched somebody who 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 would love to try again with me, despite breaking the trust, would love to see a different version of me, because they realized they played me out, and they didn't really know me. And in the time that we were no longer together, but remained cool, not intimate, just occasional talk, well before he had advanced into what later maybe a couple years later, into an engagement, into marriage, and then he was still trying to, and I'm like, nah, bro. But then it wasn't until that incident that light bulb went off. You trying to talk to me and you engaged to be married? Oh man, Dan, you ain't all into that. And then eventually I figured out that if it wasn't rooted in love and trust, then it had to be rooted in materialism. It had to be rooted in a come up. And then I had it happen over and over and again. And like, of course, other people I knew, they had it happen to them, and then I was like, damn, that's deep, you know. And that's not always the case. A come up is not always the case, but somebody play you out too for because they a freak, and some old, trying to fill up on something new every chance they get, and even old for that matter, if it's still available. Then like I said, then these lyrics will make a whole lot of sense. All she do is cheat on you day and night. I'm glad you finally know what it feels like. I bet you don't remember what you put me through. Until that girl show you, she don't love you. But the lyrics are very backhanded, because it all that lead up to the chorus, right? That little hooker bridge is like, best of love to you, hope she do, treat you like she's supposed to, right? I'm wishing this person well, but yet, deep down, I'm glad she is whew, getting it. Getting it. Lighten that ass up. But if you flip the lyrics and you're a man and Shorty play you out for whatever reason, and then you run into him down the line and they looking like, man, they trying to let you know, like, I'm sure you love the track. Nah, man. Because I'm telling you, that news will find you. God reveal all things. Whether you hear it from somebody, whether you see it, or whether you are fortunate enough to be told what the problem is from that individual and get and gain closure too as to what the situation was. But some people will give you closure looking for sympathy, but you ain't with it unless you just weak like that. But this day and age, you don't want to. You get lucky to come out of that. You ain't gonna play with too many red flags unless you just want some weak and foolish shit. But other than that, but I can't really judge even on that because, like I said, all this stuff is about nonsense I had to be schooled on. Because in the process of being schooled, I had to discover myself. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that feeling is real. It's quite relatable. I can't imagine anybody who went through the stages of grief, of heartbreak, due to a relationship that ended for whatever reason. But especially of all reasons that, because it can be more than one, right? But the primary being infidelity. And you'd be glad as hell to hear they got their ass lit up. Because this person is making a fool out of them. Because they thought they were special and they thought they were it. And they abandoned somebody else to pick that person. Woo. I would sure hate for that to be me. But I know that pain is real for someone who has done that to someone. And there are some people out there have done it once and they would never do it again. And that, God bless folks. But anyway, well, now you got the backstory to the track, All She Do. Pretty powerful. It was intended to be recorded that way. So if you get a chance and you want to go back and give this track a listen, see if you notice anything different. Sit, get into a whole vibe, smoke, whatever you do. Okay, if you want to brew, be in a mood, do that. But the next track up for discussion on the backstory is First, and then followed by talking about that whole cycle of completion for why many of these tracks, before you get to the last interlude on the album, which is I'm Already Amazing, before you get there, how this all kind of connects and why these songs in particular are put together. Because in no way, shape, or form is my entire catalog produced or unproduced, because this is my first album produced. But I have many more that are ready to be recorded. My songs are changing as I change, as well as the things that as I change, as the things I experience change, and the things I see change. Okay, so I'm on this journey, and I want to continue to document, and I would love for people who want to follow this journey with me to not only see where this gift takes me, and the development of my music, because it's only up from here, to be continued.